Welcome back, everybody, to the Dragon's Lair. My name is Wade, and this is my show, Master Dungeon. It's for dungeon masters. Players, you are free to watch this as well, but I am talking to dungeon masters. So, I have been a dungeon master for over 20 years. I have a lot of experience with homebrew campaigns. I have run games such as 3.0, 3.5, Pathfinder First Edition, Spycraft First Edition, Fourth Edition Dungeons and Dragons, Fifth Edition Dungeons and Dragons. I think that's about it. I have run pre-constructed games such as the Red Fist of Doom, the Red Hand of Doom, Rise of the Rune Lords, Curse of the Crimson Throne, and right now I am running Curse of Strahd, Fifth Edition. Point is I've been around for a long time, and on this episode of Master Dungeon, what I want to do is I want to give you my number one, most important first tip. Facebook land, I see people out there every day asking the groups that I'm a part of, hey, I'm going to be a first-time dungeon master. You got any tips? You got any hints? You got any tricks? I have a very powerful tip that will help everybody run better games that you can't find in a rule book. My number one tip is actually, and I had to learn this over time, so this is my experience that I'm giving to you, because I want you to run great games. I want you to run games that are going to both please you and entertain your players. My number one tip is self-care. Now, I'm not a mental health expert. I don't have any degrees. I haven't went to school, okay? But over a long period of time, I actually learned the meaning of self-care. I heard the term, but I learned the meaning of self-care by running games that could have been better. That I looked at myself and said, I could have been better. I could have done better. So what I'm talking about is some of these things apply. Not all these things. There can be other things, and it's a little bit different for everybody. But asking for help, spending time alone, putting yourself first, asking for what you need, setting boundaries, staying at home, saying no, forgiving yourself, and taking a step back. Okay, so let's put this into practice. For me, one of the best things I can do is just before a game for about an hour, maybe 30 minutes. I try for an hour. I take a step back and I spend some time alone and I put myself first. I get my noise canceling headphones and I put on the music that calms me, the music that soothes me, the music that inspires me. I focus on that, and I try to focus on that for an hour. Sometimes I only get 30 minutes, but before the game, I get out of my own head, okay? So this is all a part of mental health. And like I said, I'm not an expert, but here are some other tips and tricks. Connect regularly with family and friends. Exercise for 60 minutes a day. Sleep at least 7 to 8 hours at night in a cool, dark place. Practice mindfulness. So me getting out of my own head and, focusing on just rest and relaxation. Mindfulness. Eat healthy, whole foods. Here's the thing. I'm a diabetic. So if I eat a bunch of candy before a game and then I feel like trash because my sugar's all out of whack, I'm not going to run a good game. I've done that. I got a headache. I'm just not focused. I can't role play correctly. I miss descriptions. I run monsters poorly. I run a poor game. Seek mental health support, whether that be professionals or friends or learning new coping mechanisms, especially for people who are dealing with things like depression or anxiety. Things like that. Those are very real things. When I was growing up, we didn't understand them yet. And now that I'm an adult, I'm 40 years old now. Now that I'm an adult, we understand them much better and they are accepted as real conditions. So seek help, learn coping mechanisms, be well. Be well. For example, I know a player who has become a really strong player, and she, before a game, so she doesn't stress out and so she doesn't have so much anxiety, She sits down with her character sheet because she plays in a Pathfinder game that I run, and then she also plays in my Curse of Strahd game. She sits down with her character sheet in a quiet place and just reads her character sheet. Because you know character sheets, like the hit points, they're there, and the AC is there, and the saves and the skills, but it's all in this system, it's over here, and in that system, it's over there. And what my abilities do, and what my powers are, and what my blah, 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 blah. It's all kind of the same stuff, but you know, character sheets, it's in different places. And her anxiety gets the best of her if she doesn't prepare. So let's talk about preparing. Yeah, Dungeon Masters. Preparation is important because that can help alleviate some stress that you have. It can help alleviate some anxiety so you can kind of be there in the moment and role play and use your creativity. You as a Dungeon Master you are a talented, creative person. The fact that you want to be a Dungeon Master, the fact that you do master the dungeons, it means that you are a creative person. And maybe you struggle with coming up things off the fly. That's okay because that's a skill that can stretch and you can grow that muscle. But the point is that not everybody does it. Not everybody wants to do it. And the fact that you are one and that you are listening to this, hopefully, and trying to gain something from it and improve your skill means that you are trying to run high quality games. And that's what I want to support. I support you. I want your mental health to be well. I want you to be less stressed. And honestly, I gotta say, out of everything that I can pass your way that I've learned for myself, self-care is super important. I've run games before where I have fallen asleep in the middle of the game, given descriptions, running monsters, role-playing, and then, because I was working, I was going to school, I had a girlfriend, and I was running a homebrew game every week. You know, if you run a game every week, you know what preparation's like. And we know that we always got to be flexible because players are always going to be like, oh, something shiny, and then like run after it, and then 5 hours later, like they're nowhere near the plot. We all know that that's how players work. Players, we love you. We understand that that's how you guys work. And we always got to be flexible, and we always got to think on the fly, and we always gotta, okay? But that's also why I want to say that Dungeon Master appreciation is important because we do it all for you guys. And I'm not trying to lord that over your heads, players. I'm just saying, like, a thank you goes a long way sometimes. And a pat on the back, like, hey, I had a good game. Hey, I really enjoyed that. And from where I'm from in Michigan, there's a pretty strong culture of that. Over on the west side of the state, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, players always say, thank you for running the game. It's part of the culture. There are places where, people bring snacks for the DM. There's all sorts of ways that you can just say thank you. And players, I would encourage you to do that. Because for some DMs, they're really coming out of their shell and they're really working hard and dealing with all sorts of anxieties and different things to do that, to bring the game to life. Dungeon Masters, I really want you to be well. I want you to run great games, games that will entertain and fascinate your players, and also really help you stretch your skills and embrace and explore this wonderful thing that is running games, being a DM or a GM, however you want to say it, however you want to put it. Please take care of yourselves. You can't help them. You can't inspire them. You can't challenge them. You can't put fear and awe and wonder into your players if you can't take care of yourself. The last thing I want to say is go ahead and check in the description. I'm going to have links to other websites. I'm not a mental health professional, but if you need one, please seek one out. I'm a big advocate for the suicide prevention hotline. So if you need help, please reach out to somebody who is qualified and skilled and equipped to help you. I love you all. I want you to be well. Run great games. We here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you are a busy person with all sorts of responsibilities and things going on in your life. Dogs, cats, school, kids, wives, husbands, all sorts of stuff. So you could spend your time anywhere. So we want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.